Hello students, today we will read chapter 3rd of class 8th. The title of the chapter is Glimpses of the Past. Meaning of glimpses is passing sight. Come to this before you read. Here are some pictorial glimpses of the history of our country from 1757 to 1857. These pictures and speech bubbles will help clarify your understanding of the conditions that led to the event known as the First War of Independence in 1857. Come to this part. First, martyrs. Martyr is a person who gives away his life for good cause. Come to this first picture. This is a picture at a function in Delhi. So this picture is of a function in Delhi, and these come to these words: "O my countrymen, let your eyes fill with tears as you recall the sacrifices of Indian martyrs." These are the opening lines of a Hindi song, and this lady in the picture is a singer, Lata Mangeshkar. The lines are: ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों ज़रा आँख में भर लो पानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी. Others in the pictures are Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri, and Shrimati Indira Gandhi. You can see in the picture. And here is also a picture in which political leaders and freedom fighters pictures are given. So in this chapter we will read about the conditions and about the condition that led to the First War of Independence in 1857, and along with that the condition or situation of Indians under the British rule under the East India Company. Come to this part. Second, the company's conquests. Conquest means capturing. With its superior weapons, the British East India Company was extending its power in 18th century India. Meaning of this word extending is enlarging. In India of 1757, the East India Company was in a strong position. Indian princes were short-sighted. Short-sighted means lacking in foresight. That upstairs Raja, bah, call the English merchants. They'll help me to defeat him. Compared to the Indian princes, Britishers had superior weapons. Besides, Indian princes were short-sighted in their approach to the events of the time. The people had no peace due to such constant fights. Constant means regular. So this was the condition of society, Indian society at that time, that due to regular fights, people were not at peace. The rivalry means fights helped the East India Company, and it could easily subdue Indian princes one by one. Subdue means oppress. Indian princes were fighting each other. They often sought the help of the company to defeat other princes, and this worked in favor of the company. So the result was that it could easily subdue these princes one after the other. A far-seeing ruler like the brave Tipu of Mysore fought the British till he died fighting. The brave Tipu Sultan of Mysore fought the British. He died in the battlefield fighting the English. But come to this part now. Thank God there is peace in the country now. No more wars and no looting by thugs. It is God who sent the British. Our destiny is linked with them. Destiny means fate. So this is how did Indians react to these conquests. So their reaction of the Indian people was different towards the Britishers. It was not the same. The general reaction of the British rule was not the same everywhere in India. There were some who thanked British for an era of peace. Come to this. The white man has killed or dethroned our kings. The white man here means the British. Dethroned means removed from power. Some kings were not good, but after all, they were of this land. So now we have become slaves of foreigners. Foreigners means Britishers. Slaves means servants. Others bemoaned that the country was subjected to foreign rule. So some Indians during that time were in favor of Britishers and some were against them. Come to the next page. British rule. Religious leaders preached ideas like untouchability and child marriage. Priest means teaches. Anyone who crosses the seas loses his religion. All the misery in the world is due to women. So at that time, religious leaders, religious persons were promoting these types of superstitions like untouchability, child marriage, and these two, like all misery is there in the world due to the women. The truth was that Indians had lost self-respect. The British scorned them. Scorned means hated. The natives are unworthy of trust. Unworthy means incapable. Incapable of honesty. Incapable means unable. True, Your Honor, but I am honest. So some Indians were in favor of, like, they were working as friends of the Britishers. They were in favor of the Britishers. But in general, the truth was that Indian had lost their self-respect. The British scorned them. Being merchants, the British wanted quick profits. The heavy taxes forced farmers to abandon their fields. Abandon means leave. But your men are taking all my crop. You are still in arrears, means debt. If you don't pay tax next week, I'll send you to jail. The farmers and the artisans were the worst hit. Heavy taxes ruined the farmers. The British cut the thumbs of expert artisans. The British used every method to make maximum profit. Still, the British invented other methods which gave them more profits. The good manufactured means made, in England should not have any import duty when brought into India. A good idea. The East India Company's laws began to cripple means make invalid, Indian industry. Inevitably, famines followed between 1822 and 1836. 15 lakh Indians died of starvation. Starvation means death by hunger. The British policies ruined the expert artisans and their business. So it is very clear from here that the British used every method to make maximum profit. The imports from England became tax-free, and the result was that Indian industries began to die. Come to this, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, 1772 to 1833. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. Let us not despise ourselves. Despise means hate. Our ancient culture is great and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us. Superstitions means blind faiths. So he understood that what was wrong with the country. He tried to reform the society. He told his wife Uma, cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. Essence means gist, sar. He taught people that the main precepts of all religions were the same. He emphasized the practical use of knowledge. For that, he was attracted by science and modern knowledge. Knowledge should be practical and scientific. He started newspaper, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. For getting higher education, he crossed the seas and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them. He is Raja Ram Mohan Roy talking to the Britishers in England. We accept you as rulers and you must accept us subjects. Subjects means the people under a king. But you must remember the responsibility a ruler owes to his subjects. Owes means to be obliged. He went to England. There he reminded the British that rules too had a duty towards their subjects. He started newspaper in India. The suspicious British stopped them in 1823. Come to the next page. Oppression. Oppression means suppression, atyachar. But the British continued to oppress Indians. In 1818, they had passed Regulation 3. Under this act, an Indian could be jailed without a trial in a court. All the British officers in India got big salaries and also made fortunes in private business. But in actual, Indians officers were paid very less, and due to that merchants were also paid very less and Indian industries began to die. So a resolution was passed in 1818. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without a trial in a court. The British officers drew large salaries. Along with this, they made fortunes in business. By 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. At that time, Governor General Bentinck reported back home, where? To England. What? The bones of cotton weavers are bleaching. Bleaching means discoloring the plains of India. The British prospered on the company's loot while Indian industries began to die. So, by 1829, Britain was exporting goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. Thus, the British prospered on the ruins of the Indian industries and Indian industries began to die.